I'll follow like some chick or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I get this notification, because if you think about it, some hot chick that maybe likes trucks. She builds this huge following, and she can sell that following to basically a man who likes trucks.
Yeah.
And now some truck page basically gets like 20,000 followers.
Yeah.
But I'll swear some of them are it just goes straight to like dog pictures. And I'm like, I don't follow any dog pages. Nothing against dogs, just don't follow any dog pages. Yeah. And I'm like, why is this? Wait, am I in Discovery right now? Like, no, it's in my feed. Dang, right? And then you go look at the page and it's 20.9 thousand followers, 2 posts. I'm like, someone came through, sold us a clean house. Fuck you guys!
So I'm going to start off with my missionary story.
The worst part is when you say that, I think straight to talk about plowing your wife.
Yeah. No, because you sent me.
We invented the missionary position. You're welcome.
Yeah. Because you sent me the. Right here, yeah. If we lose, we get baptized. If they lose, they got drinking with us.
All right. Chris, here's your editor's notes. This is an excursion update. Today is Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. Currently 1.45 years into 2 weeks to slow the spread. Funny, but not.
Yeah. We ready?
So Tyler, you've got a story to tell me.
Yeah. So this is last weekend, right? I told you that this week.
Yeah.
Okay. So last weekend, Saturday.
For the boys.
Yeah. Well, it was me and my wife. But we were having some beverages. It's I can't remember what time of day it was. I don't want to say it was too early.
It doesn't matter.
It was appropriate beverage time. Anyways, we're sitting in our living room watching Netflix or something, just hanging out. And when I'm at my house, I haven't spent a lot of time at home. We've been out every single week.
Yeah, you guys have been out a lot.
Yeah, so when I am home, I kind of keep an eye on the neighborhood a little bit,
Yeah.
So, let's look around. Who's that? Well, anyways, I noticed this car parks across the street, but kind of up the street. And I'm like, what's this guy doing? That's kind of a weird spot just to park, even if you're visiting someone, nobody's got any cars in their driveway, whatever. And then I see that people get out, 2 younger kids, dressed in the Sunday's best.
Yeah.
They're Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I didn't really talk to them too much.
As we find out. Yeah.
So, anyways, we all know. Listen, I'm not against any religion or anything like that, but we all know when these people show up, it's okay, no thanks. Just I like it when they just leave their little card at the door, and you don't have to talk to them.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm watching them walk across, and they're going to that house across the street. They knock on the door, and I'm like, Cass, let's see if they get him. We're just sitting there watching.
We've got action.
Yeah, we've got action. Let's see if they bite. Well, they bit, and they went inside. They were inside for 25 minutes. I'm like, oh my god. Maybe they're not. I'm like, no, they have to be. The younger kids, that's exactly what he's got a little book in his hand. Mm-hmm. Anyways, 20 minutes goes by. They finally leave the house. They go across the street, which is the house on my. So if I'm looking out my front window, it's the house on my left-hand side. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh crap, here they come. I tell my wife, I'm like, I ain't answering the door. You are. I'm not dealing with them. I don't want to be the dick.
Yeah.
Well, they're quick trip on the house next door, which I kind of figured. And then I'm sitting on the couch watching. They walk right by our house, just kept walking. So at this point, I have mixed emotions at this point. I'm like, why'd you skip our house? I kind of feel offended at this point. You just walked right by our house.
They can tell you're damned.
You can tell something. I don't know. But we're obviously home. My truck is parked in the driveway. Our trailer's there.
And some guy's creeping out.
Windows are open.
Yeah.
I'm home. I was just kind of waiting for you to stop by. Walked right past. And I'm like, okay. all right, I guess it's a good thing, but still I'm kind of a little offended, you know, whatever. So Cass is like, I think you got a package in the mailbox. And we have like the street has like a joint mailbox. It's like not right in front of my house, but it's like off to the right a little bit. And I'm like, okay. Because I saw him go to my neighbor's house on the right-hand side after they skipped our house. And I didn't see him come back out. I'm like, oh my God, they got my other neighbors too. I'm like, my God. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and get this package. And I go out there and I'm walking to the mailbox. I get to the mailbox, get my stuff out, and I can tell they're on the porch of the neighbor's house. And I'm like, oh crap, I've just fallen into a trap. Here we go. And like I could hear him like, oh yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow or something. And my neighbor's like, yeah, you know, maybe, you know, like kind of giving him like that, yeah, possibly, but probably not, you know.
Politely not.
Politely, yeah. A lot more polite than I was going to be. Which I'm not trying to be a dick. Again, I don't have anything against him.
If they were to stop at your house.
It's like a solicitor, like, you know, a salesman. Like, just leave me alone. Like, okay, if I want the product, I'll go get it myself.
But don't skip my house.
But, yeah, so...
I want you to want to do the dishes. Like,
and so I'm like, I'm kind of buzzed, you know, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, here we go. Because they turn around and they see me. And he's like, oh, he said something about the weather. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's, you know, fall. So I don't know, I can't remember exactly what was said, but I'm like starting to turn and walk away. My wife lets my dog out. Now, to me, that's not a big deal, but to someone else that doesn't know my dog, it's a 100-pound pit bull. Okay, she's. I think she's tiny, but everybody else that sees her is like, that's a huge dog. Mm-hmm. And she comes out of the garage and she's standing in like the middle of the front yard, just barking at these people. I'm like, shit, she doesn't have a leash on or nothing. Like, I know she wouldn't do anything, but it's just intimidating for that kind of dog to run up to you, right? And I'm like, please don't freaking run up to him. I do not, like, please. And so I'm like kind of walking towards my dog in the front yard, and one of the guys goes, "Hey, you mind if I share a verse with you?" And this is where I feel like a complete piece of shit. I was like, "No thanks, no," and I just turned and walked away, grabbed the dog and went inside, and I immediately told my wife, I'm like, "Wow, am I going to hell? Like, I feel like a piece of shit. I feel like such an ass. Like, he just asked to share a verse." Like,
when he originally gave you a free pass, they skipped your house.
I know.
But no.
I know. So this is like one of those. I'm like, man, I battled with myself for a while. Like, wow, I feel like an a-hole right now that he just wanted to share a verse with me, and I just straight up shut him down. Like, those people are probably just okay. 120. Don't go here.
Yeah.
Don't go here. Condemned. Yeah. So that's my story. Yeah.
There's a special place in hell for people like Tyler.
I hope not. I told my wife, I was like, what do I do? She's like, just apologize to God. I was like, shit. I was like, it would have been funny is if we invited him in and I'd tell him like, hey, you drink a beer with me and I will go to your service tomorrow or something like that. I was just to see what they would say. But, yeah, you know, what can you do?
Yeah. Well,
I feel better that I got that off my chest.
Yeah. You know, what is that? Confession's half the battle?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Admit your assholery.
Well, that glorious story. Thanks for tuning in and hearing about Tyler's debacle about wanting to get skipped, but then mad that he got skipped.
Yeah. Wouldn't you be too? Like, what if they were selling something good? Like, I don't know. What if they're like, hey, listen, like, we deliver beer.
Like how to get to heaven?
Like, we deliver for the. Well, I guess.
And honestly, it doesn't cost you anything.
So, I tell you what though, if they were selling beer, that would have been I would have been really mad if they skipped our house.
Yeah, they would be pissed.
Yeah. What if they're selling you something good, like, oh, like heaven? Got me again.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is Ben and Tyler from America's Diesel Podcast coming at you with the worst advice known to man. You can find us on Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere that you listen to podcasts by searching America's Diesel Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube. This is a show. You can actually watch it if you want to leave a comment on a specific episode or ask questions. We do have a couple of people that leave regular comments and questions, and I appreciate you guys very much. Jim Lawrence, you're one of them. Our fact checker, who receives nothing for it, but he still writes dissertations every week, and I freaking love it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I want to bring back the whole first. If you're the first view, I want you to write first. Like,
Yeah.
I'm bringing the message board back. First, second, whatever, this, that, him, they, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. If you were in college in the mid 2000s or 2000s, you ever were on the TFM boards, the total frat move. I know I sound like a total a-hole talking about that, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm bringing it back. Anyhow, you can find us on there by searching America's Diesel Podcast. I'm checking and responding to those darn near daily. If you have a question about your truck and you need to get parts going, make sure that you give our sales techs a call. Tyler, nice head. Nice head. Nice work. Tyler just poured himself fresh barley juice and he did a really good job. Mm-hmm. But if you have any questions, you need to get a part going, make sure and call in and speak to our sales techs here at Diesel Power Products. They are on the phones at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Phone number is 888-993-4373. Make sure you tell them to listen to the podcast. That way they can mark down on your order that you are a podcast listener, and I can track it because it helps us out. Also, if you are placing orders on your own, like you hate our sales techs, and you just don't want to talk to them, which is totally fine. I hate them too. I hate them all equally. Just kidding, I don't hate it. Make sure in the notes section to write podcast. I go through and I check those every couple weeks just so I can tally them up. And it helps us with the big guys and let them know that we're not here just farting around all day telling stories about Jehovah's Witnesses missing Tyler's house.
Skipping my house.
Also, reviews. Tyler has some news about reviews.
Yeah. We need I'm trying to be conservative with it because I don't want to, ask too much.
Right.
I'm going to say 200. We need
Hell yeah, 70.
We need 200 more people.
Yeah.
Because if we do have 200 more people that like this podcast, and possibly there's 200 people out there that haven't left a review yet, we need you to.
And this is specifically on iTunes.
Specifically on iTunes, I'm pretty sure. 5-star review. Screenshot that bad boy. Send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure to include a picture of your truck and an address that we can send a sticker to. It looks just like a logo on our back thingy here and on our cups. But we need 200.
I know that may seem like a lot, but
It may seem like a little.
It may seem like a little, but yeah, those help us out a great deal. And if you have been sending your screenshots in with the emails and whatnot, I do have some of those stacking up. I am going to get to them.
Yeah.
It
Should
really.
I tell them why?
Yeah.
We're going to be fully transparent here.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. If we had 200 more, we would be the highest reviewed with the most 5-star reviews out of any other diesel podcast. We're that close.
That close. That's big.
We're actually closer than that. I'm just saying 200 because that would then really make us the winner. It's just, I don't know if it's going to, I'm sure it'll help us out a little bit, but it's also like a ha. We won.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
And because I'm a competitive person. I want to win.
Yeah. Nothing against those other diesel podcasts.
Yeah.
We listen to them too.
I listen to them too, man.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah. Come on.
Who else is talking to you about budgeting with your wife?
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
Who else will just sporadically bust out in the Dr. Fauci voice?
Which he's oddly good at.
Yeah.
Put your mask on. Take it off.
Yeah, take it off.
All right. This is the longest intro known to man.
It's all right.
Anyhow, that's my main word. That's my go-to word. If you've tuned in,
someone wrote a review that was started listening for the diesel content, stayed for the stories.
we should frame that one.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see this show like morph into, because we do talk about more stuff than just diesel stuff.
Yeah.
We're two like gearhead diesel guys.
And people apparently find us hilarious.
I think we're like moderately. like we're not that good.
There's no training here.
This is just zero training.
This is just life.
straight up, and we live in like Spokane. It's not exciting. There's nothing exciting going on here.
1974 World Fair. Yeah.
Wow.
And we still have a sideways tent framework in our downtown.
Oh yeah.
Have you noticed how sideways that thing?
Yeah.
Do they mean to do that?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Let's stay.
But it's there
Yeah.
from 1974.
Yeah. Let's get to this episode. We called this an episode because of the title. It's an update on my excursion. So Tyler's gonna go kill himself right now. If you didn't know, Tyler loves 7.3s. No, I'm just kidding. He loves them enough.
They're all right.
But if this is your first episode and you're wondering about my excursion, I have a 2001 Ford Excursion. It's got almost 250,000 miles on it. Bought it almost a year ago.
Yeah.
With like 242 on it. Knowing it needs some work, it's my second excursion, and I'm building it to be my official family hauler because I do have a baby girl due literally any day now.
Yeah.
Like if my phone rings, I'm literally running out of the room.
Yeah, we actually had to skip last week because you had a little scare.
Yeah, we had almost.
Not,
an
I
almost.
don't want to call it a scare.
Yeah, it wasn't
like,
scary. It was just it's. I'll tell you what, if you guys want to hear about that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
let us know in the comments. I'll talk about anything, man.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't listen to this. If she does, I want more bacon. It won't work, I guarantee it.
No.
She has way better stuff to do this.
Right.
She hears me nothing. So, the old Excursion, it's red. It's
maroon.
It's maroon, yeah. Burgundy-ish, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a port wine.
Yeah. And it's it needs stuff on it. It needs some work
Sure.
done. But it's still a good salt. It's never left me stranded. It still works. I've towed heavy with it. But it definitely has some stuff that needs to be addressed, especially with it having about 250 on it.
Yeah.
One of the things is I know that I need up pipes, or I know that I needed up pipes, and I did have an oil leak that happened to start getting a lot worse once the weather got cold. And if you didn't know what that is, that's more likely going to be related to your exhaust back pressure valve because it doesn't really get used during the summer. Once it gets cold, now it wasn't really moving before, now it is. You have another oil leak going on back there. So after a whole bunch of diagnosing, I found one oil leak on my fitting on the high pressure oil pump, got that taken care of, but I still had oil coming out of the back of the valley, going down the bell housing, and everybody thinks it's your oil pan, your room main seal. It's not. It's going on in the valley.
Yeah.
Check out my Instagram if you want to see more stories of that. I took some pictures.
Do you know what I was really impressed with? And I didn't even talk to you about this. You fit your Excursion in your garage.
Backwards.
Yeah.
This was, I'll be honest, like once I posted a picture, everybody's like, dude, you have way more room than you thought. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I forgot how much the back of the Excursion curves.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking it's like straight up and down.
Yeah.
Because I have a shelf that's like right about roof height, like literally within an inch of
Yeah.
the top of the roof, and I had to back it all the way in. Because I've put it in front ways before. Like put the front bumper on my foundation of the house basically, and I have enough room to get under it in the back and walk around it because I had to do my gears in it.
Yeah.
And this one I was like, so I was like inching back, and I was like,
How many times did you get in and out of that thing?
a lot. It basically got to the point where like the roof was just about touching a shelf in the back. And I'm like, I really don't want to have to redo this shelf for literally a half inch.
Right.
Like I will deflate my tires before I have to
Right.
remove this entire shelf because, as Tyler has mentioned, there is not a spare inch in my garage.
Nope.
Every inch is utilized.
Yeah.
Because I have to keep the floor open. I got 2 7.3s. Shit breaks.
Yeah.
It's my life. But yeah, I managed I backed it in all the way, and closing the garage door, you could like shimmy past it, but like you couldn't like put a ladder there and work on it.
With it closed.
With it closed, yeah. But with it closed, that was the big thing, like being able to like let it sit overnight and not have not be in a driveway slanted in the elements, so on and so forth. But yeah, it fit. I was pretty stoked on that. That was a big thing. So, and I was hoping that doing this stuff would last until summer, because I know that it needs transmission work. Transmission's getting old, it's a little loose. I may have cooked it. I was towing heavy. I was towing an F450 on a trailer, St. Mary's and back from St. Mary's. Dead summer.
Yeah, not the straightest road.
Nope. couple of nice changes, lots of corners.
Yeah.
And a
lot of shifting.
A lot of shifting. The old 4R100 and the stock trans cooler were not happy. Got the fluid up to, it was over 150.
It's not bad.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
sorry, no, 200. I was up 200.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. That's 150 is definitely not anything
Yeah.
to talk
I was
about.
like,
But no,
that's
I got nearly to 200 degrees on my chin. Yeah, so shit was wild. It was the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
And luckily I had shakers in there, so I'm pretty sure that's the reason the transmission did not go completely. But I was planning on, if you've ever driven up pipes on 7.3, they're not fun. And if you have a transmission out of the truck, it's a great time to do it because you have all kinds of real estate back there.
Yeah.
So I was kind of had everything on my budget, ready to go next summer. It wasn't gonna make it. It was leaking way too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get it, 7.3's leak. You know, a drip here, a drop there, whatever. But this was like every time I stop in the driveway coming home from work, there's a freaking puddle underneath.
Ooh.
Not a huge puddle, but it's enough to where like I am saturating my driveway.
Yeah.
This is not okay.
Yeah.
So I went against a lot of my better judgment, not a better judgment, but
Well, you just didn't go. You didn't go like full send on the parts that you were replacing with, on some of the parts. I mean, you
went
set
full send on
yourself.
a lot.
Well, you set yourself up for success later,
Mhm.
but then you just made it work with what you had, with the rest of the stuff, which is there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
It was definitely a change. I am that kind of guy where beforehand I'm usually like well, if I'm there, it's time for upgrade.
Yeah.
And like the money is a secondary thought.
Yeah.
Going into it this time, obviously getting ready to have a baby, you know, money is definitely something I got to pay more attention to. Like we're not broke by any means, but it's like, do I need to spend $2,000 to do this, or
Right.
does this thing just need to work for now?
Yeah.
It just kind of needs to work for now. So where I did not splurge is the up pipes. I put some BD up pipes on there. I don't trust anybody else's up pipes except BD.
Yeah.
And then I did a turbo rebuild, put a 360-degree bearing in there. I did a non-EBV pedestal, and then I modified my stock outlet to get rid of the EBV valve.
The actual flapper.
Valve, yeah, get rid of the flapper in there. That one was a hard one for me, but when you look at it, you're like, new outlet, $70, freeze plug, I have a grinder, literally 69-cent too.
Yeah.
Freeze plug.
Right.
Every time.
And there's nothing wrong. It's not like it's gonna like force it. Like that thing's not creating enough pressure in the exhaust to push that thing out.
And if it does, then I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I really wanted to put a 38R in it, and I really wanted to do an outlet, and I really like.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I didn't. So I took the whole weekend, got everything done there. Also found a coolant leak at the same time, like right when I started leaking again. Because I guess I did at the very beginning, but then it obviously cold. But luckily it was literally another 69-cent O-ring. I got a coolant flush out of it, which was nice.
Yeah.
But a couple of tips if you're doing up pipes on your 7.3. The one tool that you are going to need, 100%, don't think you're going to get away without it. It's not a big thing. Just it came in clutch. Actually, I'm sorry, there's two of them, but one of them is the most clutch one of all of them. Is a 10mm ratcheting wrench flex head wrench. So a box head wrench, you know, like the gear ratchet.
Yeah, with the flappy end.
Yeah, like a full flappy end, and not a long one. I would recommend not a super shorty either.
Yeah,
but if you have a short one too, yeah, you gotta be able to get like you gotta get up to like maybe like 35, 40 pounds of torque on that thing.
Yeah.
So like fingertips on the end, like, and I'm talking like fully just, I got a fingertip, give it all you got, get it all you got.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what it was, but that's where it's gonna be.
Where after you're just like, ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
That one tool is indispensable.
Yeah.
You will 100% need that on the collector. Hands down, just don't even try without it.
Right.
You're gonna need it. The second, and you warned me about it too, and I didn't realize how hard it was to find one until I went in a 12.8mm socket
Yeah.
to do the turbo.
Yeah.
And
Because the outlet that's what they use.
Yeah.
On the outlet on that. Don't ask, okay, you know how I know this?
yeah, Mr. 7.3 suck.
I've rebuilt the 7.3 turbo before. I will say probably the easiest turbo in the world to rebuild. If you have a turbo that you didn't have any wheel to housing contact, where it's just a matter of bearings that are bad, or it's leaking or something like that. Doing a turbo rebuild on those is so simple, so simple. Like it's
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say it's probably the easiest turbo to rebuild. I mean, there's like nothing to it.
I think the only turbo that might possibly be easier would be maybe like an H1C or something like that basically just has a V-band clamp holding it together.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
I mean, the internals. Yeah. I mean, it's freaking simple.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you what all those things are called, but
Yeah.
I know what order they came off on. I put them back in the same order.
Yeah.
That's where you get it.
Yeah. Seriously, that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, and shout out unsolicited shout out to Home Depot and Husky Tools. So I went around, and so first thing I'm thinking of 8mm 12-point socket. I'm like, well, you know what? I don't have a 12-point socket set in either a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 inch drive. You know what? I should probably get one. And I've got kind of a mix and match thing of tools, but I do like to, when I can, if it's in my budget. I'm not a Snap-on whore by any means, and I'm not saying I want to go try and find a Snap-on one, but I can get something that's not the Pittsburgh, something like that.
Yeah.
I'll and I'm talking like Icon tools or something that's like or Craftsman or something like that. Just freaking a little bit better. You know what I mean? So I went to Harbor Freight to check out an Icon, see if they have it, and they don't have it. Well, shit. Well, I'm already here. Look at like they have like Quinn, which is Quinn is like in between like shit Harbor Freight and like Icon.
Quinn.
Nothing with Quinn. All right, great. So then I look at like the Pittsburgh brand. All of them stop at 10mm for 8-point.
Really?
12. They all stop at 10mm for the 12-point sockets. I'm like, great, okay. So then I leave and I had to get a couple more things, so I'm sitting in the car like searching stuff, and I'm like, okay, well it looks like Home Depot is going to have something. Yeah. There's like multiple things that are there.
Did you use the online store and then you put your zip code in and it tells you like the aisle?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I love that.
That's so good.
Because there's sometimes you go to like Home Depot or these stores, especially our Lowe's that we have on Division. Dude, that store is. It's like a schizophrenic, but
it's confusing.
It is, dude. It is ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous.
You know what? Here's a rant for all you homeowners and big box stores.
Yeah. Okay,
I grew up going to Home Depot. All right.
Yeah.
Homer, Home Depot, orange apron, orange vest, whatever. I even worked at Home Depot when I was living in San Diego. There are, and if you watch YouTube, guys, or D-Max Rhino, you're gonna freaking vouch for me on this one. There is a difference between people who go to Lowe's and people who go to Home Depot.
Oh yeah.
You go to Lowe's, it's the. There's a P word that I want to say, but I'm not going to say. There's a whole bunch of bitches, all right? Just like you go to Home Depot, that's like the dirt under the nails, cut on the hands. I know more than you. Like, the rough and tumble.
Like, don't talk to me. I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah, like if I need, I know what I need when I go to Home Depot. I don't go browse at Home Depot. I think Lowe's is trying to meet that in between Home Depot and Target. Like, I want to go browse Lowe's.
Yeah.
I just want to be there. Yeah. I want to be there. It's all blue. Like, don't get me wrong, my favorite color is blue, but I go on there, I'm like,
their aisle organization is terrible. It's terrible. We walked around because I was trying to find a heat-only thermostat for our fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm like looking around. I'm like, where? Do they not sell thermostats? Like, what? And I finally was like, I gotta ask a guy. I'm like, listen, I'm looking for a heat-only thermostat. He's like, oh, that's over. It's in plumbing, by the iron, like the iron pipe. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Why isn't this in like another aisle? This does not seem like the right aisle for this, whatsoever. And it's like in the back corner of like an area where you walk to. That's the layout of that store. It's just it's just hokey.
Me personally, I feel like that's every Lowe's. I feel like someone who organized Lowe's just. They're like, I think this will work.
Yeah.
And someone who's actually.
Or they were like, oh shit, we forgot this aisle.
Yeah.
Where we put it? I'll just put it here.
Like the stuff I've gotten to look for like water heater stuff.
Yeah.
Is like they'll have a section that's like water heater parts. It may not necessarily be next to the water heaters, but they have a whole thing of water heater parts. It's like, it's near other water appliances.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. That's got everything I need.
Yeah.
That's everything I'm looking for. As opposed to when I go to Lowe's, I feel like they'll be like, well, this part's over here. And because this label's green, you have everything green over there.
Yeah.
And this one, the part number starts at 2, so we put it in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah, it's not homeowner convenient at Lowe's for that. I mean, sometimes though Lowe's has better pricing on some stuff, which I'm okay with. If I have to find it a little bit and get a better deal, fine. But I'd much rather go to Home Depot.
No, 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, there have been times where I'm like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in there. But yeah, shout out to Home Depot and Husky Tools, because they actually make there was an 8mm, a 10mm, and I think it was either like a 13 or a 14mm. They call it it was like an emergency set or something like that. So each one has a 1/2 inch drive impact, a 3/8 inch drive impact, a deep, a shallow, 3/8 inch, and a 1/4 inch, and then a swivel, 6-point, 12-point. It's like a 10 socket set.
Yeah.
Just every single different variation of an 8mm 12-point or an 8mm you can think of.
It's all in a set.
All in a set. And it's like $18.
Husky's got it going on.
I'm like, thank you.
Listen,
that is
am I the only guy that
fantastic.
goes into Home Depot and just drools at the Husky toolboxes?
They're not bad.
They're badass. I freaking love their
I'll be
toolboxes.
honest, I like the Milwaukee ones more.
Okay, well, yeah, it's nice stuff, but I'm telling you what, Husky's got it going on with their
They do.
toolboxes.
They have set it up, 100%. I agree.
I would love, yeah, I'm like, hey babe, Christmas.
Yeah, so thanks to Home Depot for making that one happen. So
Yeah.
and I actually contemplated going back and getting the other 3 sets just because I was like, you know what, these are commonly used, like a 10mm. Yeah, I'm gonna get the 10mm set.
Yeah.
Maybe stupid if you did.
Yeah.
So that may end up happening. But again, I was trying to really stay on budget, and I was already kind of going over.
Right.
So I was like, but yeah, so you're gonna need an 12.8 mil. A couple other tips here with the up pipes. Fitting them. You've got a lot of movement going on there. There's a lot of adjusting. You're actually, we'll preface that even more so. Before you start, like once you know you're going to be doing your up pipes, every day when you get home from work, you're going to be spraying all those bolts with PV Blast. Like I don't care how messy your driveway gets or something like that. Start soaking those things, especially while the
Park in your
engine's
neighbor's
hot.
driveway and spray.
And because that'll pay you big time in the end.
Oh yeah.
So when you put these like BD up pipes on, or anybody's up pipes really, you basically have an up pipe for each side, a collector, and then the turbo. But then as far as a turbo connecting
So yeah,
to the
flange.
and then on the turbo side, a turbo connects to the pedestal, and the pedestal connects to the valley. So you've got a lot of like small, less than 1/4 inch movements on a lot of different joints, which
Yeah.
can lead to having a freaking nightmare trying to get an alignment dowel on the collector to the turbine side of the turbo. Gets a little hard.
God, that fly, dude. I swear to God. You know what I'm gonna get? I want to get one of those. Cody had one that
The
when he
salt
used to-
guns?
Yeah, dude. We're gonna mount it right up under here and just, bah!
So for those of you that can't see, we have one fly in the room right now, and Tyler was about
He's such a dick.
Yeah, Tyler was about to get me with it.
He's quick. He's been trained. He's been trained.
He knows what's up. So you have a lot of these adjustment points, and if you were to say just tighten them all down and try and figure it out later, you're going to be way off.
Yeah.
Because,
And then you're gonna be taking everything back out.
yeah, an 1/8 inch here, an 1/8 inch there, an 1/8 inch there, an 1/8 inch there. It may not seem like a lot, but all of a sudden you're 1/2 inch off.
Yeah.
Shit, how am I going to make this work? And then, because you're by yourself in your garage working, you're going to be getting up on the truck, below the truck, up on the truck, below the truck, up on the truck, tight loose. So my recommendation, like literally leave everything loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm talking like up pipes to manifolds, loose. Manifold or up pipes to collector, loose. No V-band clamp on there. Turbo to pedestal, loose. Pedestal to valley, loose. Down pipe, don't even connect it yet. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah.
All we're worried about is the connector because it has a dowel on there. You literally leave all that loose. And once you, and don't even, like, you're not going to be able to fit the clamp on there. You're going to want to put the clamp on the collector, but it's not going to fit. And you want to put the clamp on the turbo side, but it's not going to fit because they're not going to line up because the clamp's going to want to be there. There's not a real start on each of them, so you got to have the clamp off of it.
Yeah.
And this is the dance, the subtle dance of the up pipes. Here's a throwback, Dance of the Manatees. Anybody remember that song? Dance of the Manatees? Dance of the Manatees. YouTube that, great song. 4 people are probably like, yeah! Everybody's like, that sucks. What was the name? It was like a somewhat ironic, not good name for a band. I can't remember what it was.
Not gonna lie, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. It's gonna bug me. I'll look it up later.
Have you heard that "Let's Go Brandon" song?
Yes, I sure have.
It's a great song.
It is a great song. But the main thing with the T-bolt spring-loaded clamps is you get that, the tightening down bolt as loose as possible, and you slip the T-bolt out of the...
Yeah, a little carriage that
exactly.
sits in the hole.
And so, and this is like, I literally can't see anything right now because my face is like on the windshield wiper motor, like on the top of the cowl, and I'm like working like this, like laying on top. I got bruises all over my stomach from laying on top of the damn engine, the fuel bowl stabbed me in the ribs, like, you know what I'm talking about. And once you get all the fit together, shut up. Don't talk. You're going to make it come apart. Because you'll sit there and you'll just fidget with this thing for like 45 minutes. All of a sudden, it's like the...
I remember even when I did that turbo rebuild on my buddy's truck, it was even hard getting everything lined up without even moving the up pipes. Like, it was just one of those things that's just kind of a...
Go back to your home.
Yeah. Like, I took you out of there. Why aren't you going back?
And so I got it all to fit, and I'm literally holding it like the 2 V-band flanges, or the flanges. I'm like holding them together so they don't like move, and like holding the turbo with like my back, just really cradling the whole thing, while grabbing the V-band clamp over here and like shoving it over and then trying to get it to like, okay, you're holding, and trying to get that T-bolt
hooked in there,
and then it hooks, and you're like, oh my god, and you let go, like, oh, fuck, it's not moving. Are you clamped? Slowly start tightening the bolt down. Don't. Like, if there was a time for your wife to come out and like, hey, what do you want for dinner? It's like, don't!
Like, not right now.
My wife has that sneaking talent. Like, nothing against her. She's like, I have no problem with her coming and asking me a question, but like the timing of wives on that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I could be doing stuff right, there's no problem being interrupted the entire time. But like, I'm getting ready, like I'm halfway through a cut that I have like, I cannot mess up this cut, or like this bolt I'm about to break off, and I'm like really trying to like hone into it. Hey, Ricky wants to go. I'm like, God! You have, or like when you're trying, like literally the situation when you're trying to hold 4 things and get one bolt that you can't see, and if you drop it's going to the oil pan.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about like, do you want some lemonade? Like the most wholesome thing she could be asking. Like, you literally could have picked any other time. Like 45 minutes before this, and 45 minutes that you had to pick this 13-second window where it's like the stress moment of like landing the space shuttle.
Yeah.
And every time like she does that, and I'm like, I can't be mad at her. Yeah. She's just.
Do you know what ends up happening when I'm like doing something like that, where it's like a clamp situation, like and it's like trying to get things together kind of a thing. It's like I go into it with the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna put these clamps on here in such a way to where I can easily get to the bolts and tighten things, and if I ever need to take it off, I'll have it in a great position to be able to take it back off. And then you put it on there and it's like, screw it. Yeah. You're just like somehow you're ratchet and you're like have this extension thing, and it's like as you're tightening, it's like curling up past like, oh no, please stop, please. Yeah. Okay, tight enough, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, if I have to take that off, that's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Like, for the next guy.
Yeah, I'm for the next guy. I'm selling this thing.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point now where when I know I'm about to do something that requires all my attention that can't be interrupted, I'll just poke my head in. Hey, we good? Anything?
Beforehand.
You sure?
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you checking in for? I'm like, I'm about to do something. I can't be interrupted. It's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My wife will come out and be like, hey, like, how's everything going? If it's like going bad, be like, well, it's, start, and then all I hear is the door close already. I'm just like, where'd you go? Yeah. What?
And you can't like bite your wife's head off for doing that. Like,
I know.
Checking on you. Like,
yeah.
But like, you're
like, it's going shit.
Yeah.
Clunk. Door closed. Okay.
What do you want?
Yeah.
And she could very well be like, hey, I got a new bra, you want to see it? We're like, what do you want? Leave me alone! She's like, geez, fine.
Yeah, seriously.
God, the timing on this is impeccable. Oh, I hate myself. So I got the clamp on there.
The clamp is on.
The clamp is on, tighten it down. I'm like, sick.
Sick.
Everything's, the turbo's where it needs to be, everything else is like loose. So I just started tightening down all the other bolts.
Yeah.
Sick. Alright. Last bolt. Can't get to it. Literally cannot get to it. Can't get any wrench on there, can't do anything. And this is after I already torqued the turbo to spec, I already torqued the pedestal to the valley to spec, I already torqued the out pipes to the manifolds.
Ford should have done.
Huh.
I don't know how much. I haven't really been under a dash of one, but like you know how like Cummins when they like for doing like push rods or like head bolts.
Have that hole there.
Yeah, they got that little plug there. You just take that plug out and you can run your stuff through it. Like, what if they made like a little access panel that had some like, you know, some sort of sound barrier thing on it, and you just took a couple bolts out and popped this panel off, and it's like, oh, look at the up pipe bolts are right there.
Like a little baby doghouse.
Yeah.
I don't know if I pull a dash for that though.
Well, I'm just saying if you could just get your head up there under the dash and take a little cover off and like, oh, look at the bolts are right there. That's amazing.
Oh, extra room. Okay, yeah.
Without having to take a dash off.
Yeah.
Because I'd much rather lay on my back under the dash, knowing that I can see the bolt and I can actually, like, oh, I'm tightening it. That's awesome.
That way, if you drop it, it only hits you in the eyeball.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
way better. that was a bad joke, but.
Or like you took, like it's kind of up high, I guess. To like pull your stereo out and like straight back. I don't know. You know, too late.
Yeah,
It's too late.
I had,
now.
yeah, I had to pull the turbo back out.
Ooh.
And, it's 2 bolts.
I know, but still.
Yeah, I know. So I pulled that back out and was able to get all the way over to it. And I'm like, well, I have 7 of 8 bolts tight where they need to be on the up pipes. I sure hope that's enough because and what am I torquing this bolt down to that I can't reach? However much my fingertips will let me as like a contortionist trying to get to this thing. So,
Yeah.
well, I got tight. I put it in. So far, no boost leaks. Learn from my fail. Here's where I failed here.
Okay.
You know that stupid ass clip on the wastegate?
I saw your picture of
Yeah.
that.
Now everybody says you're gonna lose this. Make sure your kit has one. Well, I didn't get one. And everybody says you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it if you take it off. You're gonna lose it. Like, don't even try and do this while it's in the truck. You're gonna lose it. And so I had the turbo on my workbench, and me being the smart man that I am, like, I'm gonna lose that. So like as I'm picking it off, I have like my hand over it, so if it goes bing,
Yeah.
it hits my hand and falls down or
Right.
something like that. Like
Yeah.
being smart about it, you know. Well, when I pulled the turbo back out, I'm sitting there thinking to myself like, it's an adjustable wastegate.
I'm just gonna put a little bit more.
Like, I may not have paid money to get a bigger turbo here, but it doesn't stop me from cranking this wastegate down.
I mean, there's threads on it. It can
Good
turn.
And then you know, a quick little Google search finds that most people do like 3 turns and
4.
5.
5.
5.
5's a good number. Feels good when I do this. 5, that's a good number.
Yeah. me being the good man that I am.
Yeah.
Everybody said, don't go over 3. Don't just do it. 5. Yeah, I'll take it. The turbo will blow up for me.
Yeah.
I feel like it was shit.
Yeah.
I was like this close to just blocking out the wastegate altogether.
Yeah.
Just let it ride.
Just,
And so as I'm going to like take this off and like put 5 turns in it, I go to pull the clip off, and this time I didn't do this, and it goes bing, and it was right in between 2 songs that I was listening to, and I just hear it go like, I hear it. And it's like, and I'm talking like the tiniest clip you ever seen.
Yeah.
And I hear like, that's it, like the faintest, and I know it went back, and I'm like, this fucker's gone.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set my timer for 1 minute. I'm gonna get on my creeper with a flashlight, and if I can see it on the ground, great. If I can't, I'm not even gonna try anymore.
Yeah.
And I know parts stores don't have it.
And you found it?
Oh, fuck, I didn't find it.
What'd you put on there?
Did you not see what
I
that
did,
was?
but it was like just looked like a mangled.
Shit.
Looked like it chewed on it a little bit before
Yeah.
you put it on.
That was a splined lock washer
Oh,
that I
okay.
clipped and then just like hit with a hammer enough until it fit in the groove and then cinched it over and
Called
gave
it.
it the old shake test. It was like, and it didn't pop off. I was like, you're good. You're never coming off again.
Here's your new home.
Yeah. That was only my third iteration of it.
I thought that was the original clip you just mangled.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
that was 45 minutes of needle nose pliers and a hammer.
All right.
And a pair of dikes.
Yeah.
I made it fit.
Yeah.
I tried everything. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about right now when I say it ain't coming off.
Yeah.
Just, if it fits, it shifts and it's
Yeah,
staying.
it's staying.
So I made it work, and so far it hasn't come off, which is good. But yeah,
Got her done.
I got her done.
Yeah.
I was fairly proud of myself. I didn't really want to do it, but I'm glad I did. I tried to toot my own horn to my wife.
How'd that go?
And it was kind of like she looked at me, she's like, just like you know when your wife looks at it like, in her head, she's like, you want to try that again, dipshit? And I'm trying to because I'm proud of myself for not spending a shit ton of money on this.
Yeah.
It was hard. I came in your office 4 times when I was ordering parts.
Yeah.
And it's like just, is it okay if I do this? And you're like, yes, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always have to upgrade parts.
Yeah,
I'm
dude, it's gonna be just fine.
like, but, and to the point where I'm sitting there even I was contemplating, well, if I'm going to be in there, put a billet wheel in there. And they're sitting to myself like, well, obviously my cost on a billet wheel is a little bit less because I was behind the counter. I'm like, well, and it's just a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Like, well, if I do a billet wheel, then I probably should just buy an outlet.
Yeah.
Instead of modifying mine, I'm going to buy an outlet, and I should probably just buy a turbo.
Yeah.
Or just do a center section.
Yeah.
Well, if we do a center section, I might as well just buy a turbo. I'm going to buy a turbo, I might as well get a 38R.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a 38R. 3 minutes later,
Yeah.
I'm T4 swapping this thing.
Yeah. Right. Seriously, down for a week, driving your blue truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes from, I think I got into, I want to say parts were, even after the coolant and everything, I was still sub $500.
Yeah. I mean, the most expensive part was the up pipes, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, the
And,
turbo rebuild kits are sub $100.
Less than $100, yeah.
That pedestal, less than $200.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was like 90, retail was like $94 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And
Um,
then, I guess so. And then, your outlet, your freeze plug was, 69 cents. So,
Yeah, I bought 2 of them,
good.
just in case I messed the first one up. And so yeah, even with tools and all that kind of stuff, and with the coolant that I had to get for the unscheduled reefer service, I'm still good. I'm still on the green.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain it to my wife. It didn't go well because she's like, "Why are you proud of yourself for doing the thing you should do in the first place, idiot?"
Yeah.
Basically. And so I framed it like this. I was like, so my first excursion, Ben didn't care about money.
Yeah.
Ben's wife did.
Yeah.
And it was early in our marriage. And
No baby yet.
No baby yet.
You didn't have Ricky yet, did you?
Not quite.
Yeah.
I sold the excursion when I had Ricky.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, because I put the Carter kid on, and then we went to Supercross, and she was pregnant. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was before Ricky. And yes, that's how I gauged my life. Supercrosses. I went to that Supercross, and she was pregnant. Yeah, right now. But it was like, I'm gonna get a little sappy on you guys real quick here. Okay. And if you've Tyler's like, don't you need more power than this? I can help you out with that. Hang on. Yeah, we're not supposed to let the viewers see what we're drinking, even though we talk about it. Beer. I mean, apple juice. Okay, take as much of that as you want.
Okay.
And so, on my first excursion,
Take half.
whenever I did parts on there, it always seemed like I was in trouble with my wife. You know, even if I was trying to do the right thing, I would always want to get the upgrade. I would always want to do more with it.
Right.
And it was cool. I mean, at the end of the day, I ended up with a really badass excursion and not a happy wife. And guess what? I just sold the excursion.
Yeah.
So overall, looking back, hindsight 2020.
Does your wife ever I'm just gonna say it the way that I would say it, and whatever. Does your wife ever throw it back in your face that you're like, you just had an excursion and now you have another one? Like,
No.
she doesn't?
No.
Wow.
No. And this is like part of growing in a marriage and growing with your budget and like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
with the first excursion, I wasn't making as much money as I am now. She was not making nearly what the kind of money she was then.
Sure.
And we were just starting out with our marriage. We combined finances, all that kind of stuff. It's stressful. It's hard.
Oh yeah.
Especially because like she's a saver and a planner, and I'm like, I got $100 in my savings account. It's a party.
Yeah. Right.
If I need more money, I'll just go make more money.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right. Living life.
I do not give a shit.
Yeah.
Money is not hard to come by.
Yeah.
Not that it's like easy to come by then or now or something like that, but just like if I need,
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. She's not like that, which is good because that's good for planning for your life, especially when you have kids.
Yeah.
Buy a house. Ben, not so much. Didn't plan on making it past 30 for many years. Many years. Openly told people, I'm not living past 30. I'm not worried about that. That's a future Ben problem. And future Ben is not living past 30. So let's party, boys. For some of you, that probably resonated. For the other of you, they're probably like, God, what an asshole.
Yeah.
So I always felt like I was in trouble. You know, I put this part on, I'm happy with the excursion, but I feel like my wife hates me.
Yeah.
It was not a good feeling. And now that I've done it this way, you know, I feel like I'm finally not in trouble. You know, like I did it the right way. I'm supposed to do it. And I'm like, trying to explain to her, like, honestly, trying to get a little bit of a kudos from my wife.
Yeah.
You know, because we've obviously grown a lot. And it's not like I have to have her permission to do this kind of stuff because the way we work our budget around.
Yeah.
But I wanted her to know that, like, hey, I know that I was in the garage all weekend and working on the excursion and doing stuff, but like, I didn't put the big shiny turbo on. I didn't do this. Like, I took the less expensive way for just about everything.
Yeah.
You know? And I tried to explain that in the best way that I could. And my like 7.5 month pregnant wife is looking at me like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Why are you explaining this to me?
Yeah.
I could be sleeping.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, we weren't like in bed or anything. We're like, it was like in between a show we were watching or something like that. And she's like, of all the things I had to listen to today, it's like, why the hell are you telling me this? And I'm like, I'm proud of myself. Be in the back room.
Yeah.
Give me a high five. And,
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Nothing.
I got zero out of it. the only thing I got out of it was, I was like, I'm glad I took care of that now because I'm glad I got it done all this weekend. I was not looking forward to it, but I'm glad I did it. And she was receptive to that.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, my wife does not hate that I'm like a car guy or something like that. She likes that I'm a car guy. She's made freaking Instagram posts about having a car guy for her husband, fixing things,
yeah.
and like being able to work on stuff and all that kind of shit.
My wife is like, when we got like the last scenario I could think of where she was like, yes, is when we got when I blew a tire in a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I just pulled off to the side of the road and like without even like thinking, like I just grab the jack, grab the tools, jack it up, get the tire off, get the new tire off. She's like, if I was with anybody else, like, there's no way that would have been like just taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah.
Let's go
Duh. Like, it's changing a tire. Like, but it makes you notice like people on the side of the road when they're like have like a broke down car or something. You just see them like looking at it. And you're just like, it's probably something stupid.
Yeah. Anyhow, so that was my excursion update. Kind of a little bit of a negative right there, but on the positive.
Not really negative. Why?
Yeah. Well, because
You just didn't do some shiny parts.
yeah.
Didn't do some cool stuff. That's fine.
I will say
There's only so many things you can do to a 7.3 to really make it cool, anyway. So it's.
I know that was kind of a dig, but it's true. It's 100% true.
That didn't work. That did not work how I thought it would.
I mean, and you know what I'm talking about. If you're a 7.3 guy, and someone asks you what you've done to your truck, and you're like, 3-inch downpipe, non-EBV. I'm like, dude, that does nothing. There's absolutely nothing.
You understand it doesn't use that like ever.
Yeah.
Like ever.
It uses that in your drive. Well, it gets the valve at exhaust flows more.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you this from experience right now. It sounds a little different. No change in pepper.
Yeah.
No change.
This brings up. I know you're gonna remember this, and I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but when I was still in sales, I had a guy with a 6'5" call me upset because we sold the crossover pipe.
Oh, I wanted you to transfer him to me so bad. I remember.
Yeah.
Because of the lip. Oh.
So obviously we try to be as nice as we can to people. Like we're not trying to be. Here's the thing. I hate it myself when I call somewhere, like even like for myself, I call somewhere and ask questions about a part, and I get talked to like I'm an idiot. Okay, I hate that.
Yeah.
Like I'm asking questions I don't know. I want to know. Like don't be like. It seemed like for a while there in the diesel industry there was like a bunch of dicks. Yeah. Like just like like you don't know that.
Yeah.
Like why are you doing that? You know like shit like that, right?
You're calling me. You should know.
Yeah.
Like
I hate that.
But aren't you?
So I try to portray like even if it's the stupidest question, like when people are, I got a stupid question. I'm like, listen, there's no stupid questions, okay? If you don't know something, you don't know something. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, this guy knew everything. He calls in 6'5". FlowPro made a crossover pipe. So on the 6'5s, there's a pipe that goes from either side kind of under the engine, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a slip fitting, like any exhaust kit that has ever been sold for a diesel.
And there's no clamp there, but it's a big slip joint. It overlaps by like 4 inches.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was very upset. Okay, let's back up. This is a 6.5 liter GM. It produces like 4 horsepower. Okay. It flows as much air as my freaking office fan. Like that. Like it's nothing. Like that was more air.
There's a reason they don't need a 5-inch exhaust.
Yeah.
Nor do you need a 4-inch.
Look at that. I just made more power than a 6.5. He calls complaining and pissed off that there is a lip where those 2 pipes fit together on his 6.5. You know how ridiculous that guy sounded? Do you know how much I held myself back? But like I wanted to tell him like, dude, it's a 6.5, bro. Like what do you want? Like seriously, it's a 6.5 liter GM, like the worst engine they ever made. I'm not gonna say the worst because they last forever, but it's like the least powerful engine like ever made. Like and also, I'm pretty sure my freaking 1976 International Harvester lawnmower has more freaking guts than that thing does.
And also you gotta remember the pipe you're taking out is a pancake pipe.
Yeah.
It's sandwiched down for clearance. This one is a full 3-inch diameter.
Yeah. And he was so upset with us. With us! We don't even make it. And then it kind of transferred into flow. I don't understand why they would do that. That hinders exhaust flow. I'm like, what exhaust flow? The stuff the engine's making? Oh, that's what you're worried about? Okay. I'm like, there's no helping you, sir. You can return it if you'd like. There's nothing we can do for you.
I remember this very vividly.
Yeah.
I still remember this guy. I heard Tyler talking to him. And this guy was talking.
Listen, and I'm not very scientific. I'm not very like. I'm just kind of like. It's not gonna matter, dude. Like.
I am.
Yeah, he is.
I have no problem having a laminar flow conversation with someone, with aerodynamics or fluid dynamics. I have no problem. I will. I am not an expert by any means, but I'll go to bat.
Yeah. Like
I know enough to be dangerous. And
right.
I know enough common sense. I know diesel stuff that I'm very dangerous.
Yeah.
I hate you, Corey.
Yeah.
Corey's hell of a son. I'm going to explain just a minute here. But I was there, and I heard Tyler. I was sending messages like, transfer me. Send them to me.
I'm like, I got this.
And I'm like, while he's doing that, I'm pulling up equations to refresh myself.
Yeah.
I'm finding everything. I'm like, this guy's is he an engineer?
Yeah.
You want to talk to an engineer? I'll give him an engineer. Come on over, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there, raring to go.
Yeah.
Like probably the worst thing for anything like in a service industry type thing. But when I get by that is like we keep it as real as you want to keep it with us.
Yeah.
Like, on the sales floor, like again, no stupid questions. But there's a line that you cross when you start like when it becomes A, you're a dick, and B, accusations, and like C, when you're disputing like natural born known facts.
Yeah.
Like,
And keep in mind, this is a 6.5 liter GM. Okay. What do you want, bro? Like,
I had a guy call in and ask, tell me that he wants to make the fastest 6.5 in North America. And I straight face, stone cold. I asked him, "Is it running?" Yeah. Top line.
is it ready? You got it already. You already won.
Pro top 5.
Yeah, you're front top.
It was silent. He chuckled. We laughed. It was fine.
I just don't get it. Listen, here's the thing. I'm not trying to bash people that love their 6.5. Okay, there's people out there that just love that old powerless engine.
I got a buddy who has a 6.5, and he
some
loves
people
it.
like it. I get it.
He's like, I get.
Well, I
get
don't get it, but I get it.
It's a 6.5 in a Suburban. It's an old one.
Yeah.
And not as old as yours. It's the wait. They went 6.5 to 6.2, right? Or the way around. No, 6.2 to 6.5.
Around.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's the K series, like mid 90s.
Yeah.
So not
Yeah,
as old
mine
as
was
yours.
87.
Yeah. And he has that, and he loves it. He's like, I get low 20s just about everywhere I go. I mean, it's not winning any races, but
And I ain't towing anything heavy.
yeah, but it puts my entire family and my friends, and we can go to Tahoe, and we can go drive around, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's low maintenance.
There's benefits to those type of engines. It's not, but power isn't one of them at all.
So what the sign that Corey held up, and I write a note down, Corey. I have to post a link to that video that we're referring to in our description for this one. But I did a video where scientist Ben, Professor Ben, came out. Maybe we should bring him back. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was way back. This is like 2016, 17, something like that.
Yeah. It was like right when we got into this building.
Yeah.
It was,
for howitzer, we have a single cab short bed 2500 Ram that we bought, and then with like 150 miles on chops, so we can make it a short bed.
Yeah.
Which now became howitzer, which if you know what
Yeah.
built tribute, it's
the first iteration of it, we had to put the exhaust up into the bed for clearance for suspension and things like that.
Because it was a fully emissions truck, still is, and we were getting a lot of hate in the comments. So I decided to respond to them as Professor Ben with a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Just like you're good about you can make anybody believe anything for like half an hour, or like for a conversation.
Yeah.
You live in the moon. Whatever. Birds aren't real.
Yeah.
that's the Northwestern Cyclops broad-nosed horse.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, it's of Norse descent. It came over in Pangea.
Okay. Still to this day, and I know he doesn't listen to this podcast because he doesn't listen to any podcast, but my buddy Mark.
Yeah.
Dude, I intentionally do it. And now he's just gotten to the point where he looks over at my wife and goes, "Is he serious? Is he serious right now?" Because I don't know. I'm the worst when it comes to like comebacks. Like if Ben like insulted me right now, like I wouldn't think of anything until like tomorrow I'd come back and go, "Hey Ben, remember what you said to me?" Yeah. I finally come back. But for some reason, like just randomly, like we're with someone and like there's something that happens or like there's like an animal and like I just start going. It's just like I lose control of my mouth and my brain. Like it just starts rattling and then you're like, "Oh really? Really?" I'm like, "Nah."
So my talent akin to that is I can spout off random.
Yes, you can. Holy.
Like 75% correct scientific stuff.
Yeah.
With such conviction and back it up with other bullshit.
Yeah.
That it sounds spot on.
So you're just as good as with me, but you're just more on point. And mine's just more random.
Yeah. And so I got a whiteboard I'm drawing. Everybody's like all upset about how much we impeded exhaust flow and whatnot. And I basically draw it on the board. And it's like, the problem here is everybody's worried about, you're going to cause too much restriction. Well, see, the problem here is that you're just not looking at it correctly. It actually makes power because 90 plus 90 is 180. It's a straight line. We're making power. when an electric I really had like two 90-degree bends right next to each other to make like an S curve.
Yeah.
Like, well, 90 plus 90 is 180. Straight line. I don't know what the problem is here, guys. Like, we learned in geometry.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fucking deal is here, guys. My favorite one that and we're going to close it out on this random stupid anecdote. Riding motorcycles is dangerous. That's right. Riding on two wheels is dangerous.
Yeah.
So make sure you cut that danger in half. Do a wheelie.
All right.
It's that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
It's logical.
yeah.
It's just logical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I got nothing. See, nothing comes. Tomorrow, however, I'm gonna ruin it. I was like, hey, remember when you said riding on one wheel?
Yeah.
He'd be like, what?
Well, riding on no wheels
Yeah.
is not dangerous at all. Just ejectocito, cuz.
That's actually really good. See, you're good at that.
Hey, we are our talents, right? Yeah. I like 7 threes and making shit up.
Yeah. And I like making shit up sometimes. Sometimes.
All right. That is going to conclude this episode. I greatly appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure that
Remember, reviews.
Yeah.
We need 200 more. Tell your friends, even if they don't even listen.
Tell your friends. Tell all of them. We need it.
Take your parents' phone, or your cousins, or your uncles, or your brothers, sisters.
Do it.
Do it. Just take it.
Do it.
Subscribe, and then leave a 5-star review. And then leave the review saying, I just left a review on my mother's phone. Or my...
Do it. Do it. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but if someone,
If someone does
doing
that, I say we send them a shirt. We used to send shirts out, remember?
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day.
If
If
you
leave a review on your mother's phone and post the review that you left it on your mother's phone, or your father's, or your brother's, or your sister's, you'll get a t-shirt.
if you email me photographic proof that you have
Yeah.
like stealing your mom's.
I know this is
Have
really
fun.
shallow of us
Have fun.
and really stupid,
But
but
we're that
listen,
guy.
we need that. We need it.
Need it.
We need it. We're close.
So close.
All right.
Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate all of you. Make sure and check us out next week. New episodes drop every Thursday. But that's in the outro because I totally forgot we have an outro for this damn podcast. So there you go.
Yeah. Don't forget to wear your mask.
Yeah.
Okay, and then take it off.
Put it on.
And then put it on. And then take it off.
Let's go, Brad. See you next week.
Be a sheep. Bye.
90 plus 90.
It's 180. That's a straight line.
It's a fucking straight line.